Hey, I'm Brandon Lee, and today I'm going to be testing out the first wireless shotgun mics I've ever tried. These are the Comica VM40s. So you get actually two mics. Here's one, and here's one. And you can record audio independently with both of them. And they also have internal 32-bit float recording inside the mic. So if you happen to be too close or too loud, you can still get usable audio from the microphone because it records internally 32 bits. And the internal recording will also come in handy when you're out of range. So the way I would want to use these mics, and the reason I'm testing them, is to use them for docu work or for narrative shooting where I don't want to have a lav on the person. Next up, I'm testing out the audio quality in a noisy environment using the two Comica mics in different positions, and I'm also comparing them to the sound of my DJI mics. So under my shirt, clipped with two magnets, I have the DJI Mic 2, which is what you're hearing right now, and I have the DJI Mic Mini, which is what you're hearing right now. All right, so this is the sound of the Comica mic in the low position, compared with the sound of the DJI Mic 2, compared with the sound of the DJI Mic Mini. And this Comica mic is about the same distance from my mouth as the two DJI mics. So all of these mics are about the same distance, so you can directly compare the audio quality. And this is the sound of the Comica mic in the high position, compared to the sound of the Comica mic in the low position, compared to the Mic Mini, compared to the DJI Mic 2. And now I'm speaking really quietly, and you're listening to the sound from the Comica mic in the low position, and now you're hearing the sound from the DJI Mic 2, and the DJI Mic Mini, and the Comica mic in the high position. Okay, so we're back to the Comica mic in the low position, and I'll just talk to you about the big advantage of using a shotgun mic as opposed to wearing the microphone on your body. If you're wearing the mic on your body, then it's susceptible to sounds as you move around. So now you're hearing the DJI Mic 2, and now you're hearing the DJI Mic Mini, and now you're hearing the Comica mic in the low position. And of course, the worst of all is if you happen to tap your chest. DJI Mic 2, DJI Mic Mini, Comica in the low position. What I'm not going to do in this test is use the built-in noise reduction on any of these mics because I find it rather useless. I don't think it sounds very good. But what sounds a lot better is AI noise reduction, such as the noise reduction that you can use in DaVinci Resolve. So here's the Comica mic low position. You're going to hear it once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. So here's the Comica mic low position. You're going to hear it once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. DJI Mic 2, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. DJI Mic 2, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. DJI Mic Mini, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. DJI Mic Mini, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. Comica mic in the high position, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. Comica mic in the high position, once without noise reduction and once with noise reduction. All right, so that's my test, and you can pick your favorites for yourself, see what sounds best to you. Since you can use the Comica VM40 as an on-camera shotgun mic as well, I want to do a direct comparison against the Sony shotgun that I've been using for about 8 years. So I set up this little test scenario, and I'm going to play this clip back twice so that you can hear the same audio from each mic. So I set up this little test scenario, and I'm going to play this clip back twice so that you can hear the same audio from each mic. Now I'm about 3 meters away, and I'm going to play this clip twice so that you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm about 3 meters away, and I'm going to play this clip twice so that you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm about 9 meters away, and I'm going to play this clip twice so you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm about 9 meters away, and I'm going to play this clip twice so you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm extremely close to the camera, and I'm speaking very loud so you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm extremely close to the camera, and I'm speaking very loud so you can hear the audio from each mic. Now I'm walking and talking, Sony mic is on the camera, and I'm moving around a lot intentionally so that you can hear how well the shock absorption works on the mic. Now I'm walking with the Comica mic on the camera, and you're getting a sense of how well the shock absorption works, seeing if there's any unwanted handling noise as I move around. So this is how it would sound if you're walking and vlogging with the mic. All right, I'm going to do a little experiment here. I want to test out rigging this mic above me as an overhead boom using the absolute lightest weight, easiest rig possible. So here's what I came up with. I've got this bendable, flexible rod thing that you can twist up into any shape that you want. And I'm gonna turn this into a hanger. So I'm gonna just create a hook. So now we have like a hook shape here. And this is connected to my Insta360 selfie stick. So check this out. I'm gonna hook it up above me, and then I pull down on the selfie stick, And attached to the selfie stick, I have a ball head, and I'm angling the microphone until it's exactly where I want it. And then on my phone, I'm using the monitor and control app. It's an app that lets you monitor what you're shooting. Once everything looks right and it sounds right, I can go ahead and shoot. So right now, as I sit and talk to you, the mic is perfectly on axis facing me, and it's just barely out of frame, just barely above the frame line. And for a shot like this, it would be really challenging to put the mic on the ground around me and get the same kind of audio because it would be in the shot. It's actually a lot of fun to do mic setups like this because I have so much freedom in where I can put it. Next up is going to be a little experiment with turning the mic stand upside down and then using some gaff tape to hang it from the ceiling. So the plan is to put the gaff tape on the bottom of these mini tripod feet and then stick this on the ceiling and then extend the selfie stick down from the ceiling and have a hanging boom mic just like that. Now I'm gonna stick this mic to the ceiling. Just like that. Now I extend out the selfie stick and then I adjust the head to the angle that I need. And now I'm sitting down right in the sweet spot of the microphone, and this is how it sounds. So this is a good mic setup for a dialogue scene. Let's say you're shooting a medium shot, you want to be able to show the environment around your actor, and you don't want a mic stand on the ground being in the way. Another way to use a 2-mic kit like this is for a scene where your character is moving around and talking in different directions. So in this particular scene, I have one mic in front of me on this side to catch my dialogue when I'm speaking in this direction, and then I have another mic out just at the edge of this doorway to catch my dialogue when I'm talking to somebody in the next room. Okay, final thoughts for this first initial test of the Comica VM40s. What do I think? Well, first of all, I haven't tested them for that long, so these are just initial thoughts. I haven't used them in the field. I haven't really battle tested them to see how durable they are. But overall, I was really pleased by the sound of the audio from these, and it's just a really convenient kit to have around because I like having 2 shotguns that wirelessly connect and then feed into separate channels on my camera. So if I'm recording a dialogue scene or if I want to get extra audio angles of somebody who's speaking, I can do that without having to hook anything up with wires or without having to use a separate recording system that has to be synchronized back up later. So that part is really great. Of course, I also really appreciate the 32-bit float internal recording in the microphones. The audio quality is excellent. But one little caveat of 32-bit float that I think people should be aware of, if you don't already know this, is that it can't prevent microphone saturation. That's when the audio is too close and it's just too loud and it saturates the mic capsule itself and affects the quality of the audio and possibly distorts it before it even gets recorded. So basically, as long as the sound going into the mic isn't so loud that it distorts the mic capsule itself, 32-bit float will be able to save you. Another thing I really like about these mics is that you can use them on camera through the cable. They don't have that wireless connection through the hot shoe that Sony mics have and that DJI mics have now, but that's not really a deal breaker for me. It just makes it a little less convenient. But one thing I make sure to do on the receiver is I put tape over the headphone output because I never use that. And I do that to prevent myself from plugging the cable into the wrong output. One nice feature when it's plugged into the camera is that it will automatically turn the power of the microphone off when you turn the camera off. So there is an auto power off function there if it's plugged in with a wire to the camera. But if you're using it in wireless mode with the receiver, it won't automatically turn off when the camera turns off. So that's something you really need to be aware of. You don't want to run down the power of your microphones, kill the batteries, because you forgot to turn them off after you turn the camera off. So when you turn off the camera, you have to turn off the receiver and then separately turn off the 2 mics. The shock absorber works way better than my old Sony mic on camera, so that's good to know when I'm walking around vlogging. I won't have to worry about getting unwanted handling noise. The range of these mics is not great, so that's something you should know going in. They're not going to give you the advertised range. It's much, much shorter. However, I plan on using them for shoots where I'm pretty close to the talent that I'm filming. Either I'm going to be doing a selfie, filming myself like this, or I'm going to be filming an interview, or I'm going to be filming a narrative dialogue scene. And in any of those scenarios, the mic is going to be pretty close. And of course, there is that backup of the internal recording if your subject goes out of range. Transferring the 32-bit recordings to the computer is a little bit counterintuitive. What you have to do is hold down the record and safety buttons on the mic at the same time until you see copy mode come up. There's a little LCD display, and it will say copy mode and show you a picture of a folder. Then you plug in the USB-C cable and you can transfer the files. It'll show up as a little drive on your computer. But that's just something you should be aware of. You do have to press 2 buttons to enable copy mode. You can't just plug it in and have it automatically connect. So my honest, unsponsored opinion here is that these are really compelling and unique mics if you're looking for a 2-microphone kit to shoot dialogue scenes, to shoot docu-scenes, to get away from putting lavaliers on people and connecting wires to the camera. All right, it's getting pretty dark. I'm going to go home. There will be a link in the description. Once again, I'm Brandon Lee. Adios. I'll see you next time.